everyone! Welcome to our Traitors Season 3 finale chat.
Finally.
Woo! We made it! Wait, what do you mean finally?
I don't know. It just seemed like after Carolyn left, it just seemed to be dragging ass forever. So
I mean, that's understandable because she is a star. I
died a little bit when she got banished, and the rest of the show basically meant squat to me.
Yeah, I mean, it did lose a little bit of its...
really sucked the air out of it.
Its shimmer, for sure. But, I mean, we still had Alan.
I mean, yeah.
Let's not forget about that, because Alan is truly a gem, and we're just so lucky that he's hosting a reality show.
Alan is number one on Cameo as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. Because last episode ended on a cliffhanger.
Oh my god. Can you believe they left us on a cliffhanger?
I've been watching the UK Traitors. Sean and I just finished season 1 the other day, and they do a crap ton of cliffhangers.
I hate that.
Like, maybe more so than the US.
It reminds me of The Circle.
Yeah, it's just like that. It is just like that.
And that is like a UK show, isn't it? Didn't they start in the UK?
I don't know. But also... Actually, the Traitors is from the Netherlands, just like Big Brother.
Oh.
So it was Netherlands to UK to US pipeline.
Oh, all right. So was Dancing with the Stars also a Netherlands show?
Now that I don't know.
I don't think so. I
so.
feel like Ballroom, one of the capitals of Ballroom is
Blackpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. So they left us on a cliffhanger.
Right.
It was going to be... Or it was a tie vote between Danny and Ivar to go. And only... well, it was a cliffhanger. It was a tie.
This was the revote. This was the revote.
They had a revote.
Yeah. So we
came down to the last vote.
Yes. And it was really... all down to Brittany. What was Brittany going to do? Because she was saying at the end of the last episode that she thought Dolores looked over at Danielle and like kind of signaled to Brittany that she would be voting for Danielle to go. Like changing her vote over. And then we saw last time that...
She didn't.
She did not. Dolores still voted for Ivar as the person to be banished.
What the actual F?
I know. So when Brittany saw... how Dolores voted, she was like, ugh, which to me was like oh shit, she did it.
Yeah.
She voted Danny out.
Yeah. And
that is what happened.
Danny did reveal that she was a traitor, but not before pumping up everyone.
Oh my god.
In the room except for Brittany.
Yeah, she said something nice about everybody except for Brittany, and I was like, oh my god, like, what do you want her to do in this situation? Like, you're gonna be going.
That was very crappy of her. After she recruited Brittany to be a traitor, then to basically signal to everybody that Brittany is also a traitor by doing that.
I mean, she basically did. But also, I feel like Brittany could have made the case, like, because they had the drama from Big Brother Reindeer Games, Danielle just, like, assumed that Brittany was never going to vote against her or anything like that. Like, she could have definitely spun it that way, but I don't know. Maybe we just didn't see it, but she really didn't push that line of thinking very hard.
I don't think these people saw Big Brother.
I'm just saying, she could have explained more, like, what happened with all that, but it didn't seem like she did.
I think it was sour grapes in the end.
Well, people took notice, but yeah, Danielle revealed she's a traitor. Everyone was like, oh, I don't know. Dylan especially. Dylan was like,
how
besties.
did you not know? The acting was so bad.
I know.
Dylan
was besties with all the traitors this season.
Yeah, what the hell?
So every time one of them was eliminated, he's like, oh my god.
He said, I really blew it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to deal with the seer.
Right. There's still the seer twist, which was like, if Brittany is not the seer, she's going to be screwed here because I feel like everyone would want to check her, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody is suspicious of her after how it went down with Danielle, not paying her any compliments.
Well, how was the seer determined?
It had to do with last week's mission.
Okay.
Whoever got the most money individually. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Brittany won outright or if maybe Danielle won, but then because she was eliminated, then Brittany... I'm not sure.
I think Danielle had won, But since she was banished, then
Brittany
it
was
went
the
to
new
the
seer.
second. Yeah. So it was Brittany.
Yeah.
Lucky for her.
Yeah, because seriously, I think anybody would have chosen to find out Brittany's true identity.
So Alan shows up in his sexy clothes.
Yeah.
And he whisks Brittany away to the bookcase room.
Secret room.
Let me see your book and let's enter.
Yes.
So Dylan suspects that Brittany is a traitor because he has a pulse and he's not a complete idiot.
I mean, he was already sniffing around her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even back to like when Derek was still on and he was like, okay, Rob and Brittany are traitors. And Dylan...
But Brittany wasn't at the time.
No, at the time she was not. But Dylan was already thinking, oh, I gotta go with what Derek's saying. Like,
right.
Especially once it was confirmed that Rob was a traitor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he kind of put that away for a while. Now it's bubbling back up to the surface.
So it was complete coincidence.
Yeah. But while Brittany's away doing her thing, Dylan's like, I don't know, we might need to vote Brittany out next because there's a good chance that she's also a traitor.
Thank you.
There was also the possibility that all of the final five
were
faithfuls, but like we know that's not the case. But it would have been possible.
Yeah. All right, so Brittany gets to pick somebody to have dinner with, which, by the way, they never ate.
It was like a bachelor date.
It was a drink, and that was it.
Well, fittingly.
And it seemed like a pretty low-quality drink, too, because after Brittany took a sip, she was like...
No, yeah, I did remember seeing her face. Yeah. She was like...
Yeah. Not for her.
I don't know much about alcohol, but, like, I don't really drink, but I don't think you're supposed to make that face after you drink.
All right, well, she chose Gabby. Gabby shows up.
So it was like a bachelor date.
Right.
And they even joked about that.
I just cannot... Sorry, shut up.
Oh, come here.
I just cannot get over thinking that Gabby was wearing the garment bag. Like...
Oh, I know.
She's probably like, oh, they packed this for me to wear?
There have been some very interesting looks throughout this season. That one with the little leather diaper was not my favorite.
It was awful.
The leather diaper and the top of the garment bag.
Yeah.
That was not... I wasn't feeling that one.
Gotta give this...
But I gotta give her props for going for it. And
yeah. All right, now that decorum has...
We've gotten this under control, hopefully.
Hopefully. So now it's time for breakfast.
Well, wait, Brittany finds out
Oh.
that Gabby is, in fact, a faithful,
right.
which, like, she knows. Because Brittany's a traitor. Like, she knows. This was all for show.
Exactly.
But, I mean, Gabby does not know for sure Brittany's status. So she's like, oh my god, I hope she doesn't try and fool everyone and tell them that I'm a traitor. Which, in my opinion, would be insane for her to do.
That would be stupid.
That'd be so insane for her to do. To be like, yeah, I checked and Gabby's a traitor. And now it's like her word against Gabby's. But, like, everybody trusts Gabby way more than they trust Brittany. Especially with recent events.
Right.
So... there really was no other move for Brittany to do.
Well, Dylan had also said, if Brittany comes back and says that Gabby is a traitor, then Brittany is definitely a traitor.
Yeah, like, it just wouldn't make sense for her to do that.
Right.
So, it is time for breakfast, and Brittany and Gabby are talking about what happened.
Breakfast was so lame because it's like, they're still doing the door knocks, but, like...
Nobody
Nobody's
died.
vanished. Nobody
was murdered.
Nobody was murdered. Sorry, I dropped my water bottle.
Yeah.
Again. Whatever. All right.
So Brittany's like, okay, I met with Gabby, and she is a faithful.
Oh.
So then Dylan was like, crap, I thought she was going to lie, and then that was going to be my, like, gotcha moment, but she didn't do it.
He was like, now I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe they're both traitors.
Oh my god. He got very confused. He was like, maybe this is a whole plan, that Brittany was going to pick her, and then she was going to say she was a faithful, but they're both traitors. That'd be a lot of traitors in one season.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we already had, like, what, 5?
Yeah, there was 5 total. Right. It's a lot. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. You never know what they're going to do, but... I think after, you know, they've gotten to the point where it's just like, everyone's a traitor.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway.
Alan sachets in.
Yes.
And says...
I loved that outfit, of course.
Oh, yeah. That's a great color for him, too.
Pink? Oh, my God. Or purple? Purpley pink?
Like a lavender.
Yeah.
The prize pot is 166,800.
Okay. Not
US.
bad. But they still could be adding more.
Yes. So Brittany tells Gabby maybe Dylan is a traitor.
Right. They still have a little bit of time to talk before the next mission, or the final mission.
Mm-hmm.
And Brittany knows her back is against the wall right now.
So she's got to make some shit up.
She knows that Dylan is coming after her. So she's like, maybe I can band the girls together to go after Dylan. Because that's pretty much her only hope at this point. Like, who else is she going to put a target on?
Right. So she's putting in the work there.
Right. She's trying to get some heat on Dylan. And honestly, she was making some pretty decent points. Like, of course, we know that Brittany is the traitor, but I think she was making some valid arguments for why it could be Dylan.
Right.
It made sense.
Yeah. But now it's time for the final mission. And you have to solve a riddle to get into the room with the money. The money.
Money, please.
And in there are also old expensive cars.
Okay,
that they
fun.
are not going to let them drive.
No.
They have chauffeurs.
Yes. They are not touching those old cars.
So once they bust into the room with the money and the cars...
The riddle was pretty easy. Like, this was definitely
ridiculous.
a gimme challenge.
It was like, you guys sucked all season.
We
and
need
didn't
to
make
up
that
this
much
prize money.
We got to get some money on the board here because this is freaking pitiful, like the first season of Drag Race.
Well, they get the money, they get in the cars, they get to go for a little joyride back to the castle.
Yeah.
And then they drop the money at Alan's feet, and he's like, this is not over yet.
In comes the helicopter. It comes up, one of those ones where it like...
I gotta say, that was pretty sick.
That was
I
pretty
thought that
sick.
was cool.
That was pretty sick. So they find out that they're going to be tethered to the helicopter.
This is an opportunity for them to double
up.
their prize money.
To throw up.
Well, that too.
I would never do it. So
Yeah, they're going to be hanging from the bottom of the helicopter,
Right.
and they have to try and drop the money bags into a ring of fire, Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And if you land the bag successfully in the ring, you double that prize money
Right.
for that bag.
I would not do it.
Well, everybody got 2 passes at it, too. They got
Yeah.
2 chances.
Yeah.
And there were 2 groups of 2, and then Ivar was going by himself. Would you rather go with... This is what Sean and I were talking about last night. Would you rather go by yourself or go with another person?
With another person.
I said with another person.
Yeah.
He said by himself. Because I was like, wouldn't you want to go with me? And he's like, you'd be screaming in my ear the entire time.
That's true.
But I mean, there are
True story.
some benefits with going with another person, because if you drop the bags at different times, maybe one makes it in, one doesn't. I don't know. There's pros and cons either way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the pairings were Brittany and Dolores.
Right.
They went first. And it was just so funny every time somebody would go up off the ground. You see their feet just, like, going up. It was just like, ah!
I wouldn't do it. Sorry.
I'd be screaming.
We know.
Yeah. So Brittany and
I wouldn't even
Dolores,
attempt it.
they didn't get it their first time.
No, they didn't.
But I think they both got it the second time, didn't
Yeah.
they?
I think so.
I think both got it the second time.
Well, they ended up at, after all that, they ended up adding $37,500 to the prize pot, which puts it at over $200,000.
Dang. The other
Finally.
pairing was Danny and Gabby. Not Danny, I'm sorry. Gabby and... Who am I missing? Dylan.
Right.
I think Dylan... Did he get it both times and Gabby missed both times? I feel like that was what happened.
I don't know. I
And
wasn't
then
paying
Ivar
that
got
much
one.
attention.
out of
This
the
is
2.
probably where I was kind of dozing a little bit.
It was a long day.
All right. Well, Brittany corners Dolores.
Okay, because again, she's got to get enough votes to potentially
She's
go
got
after
to put the
Dylan.
work in here.
Yeah.
And she says, you know what? Dylan's acting kind of sus.
And Dolores, I mean...
She's gullible.
She's been known to make some crazy votes. So, like, there's a chance that Brittany could pull this off.
Yeah.
Brittany is a seasoned, competitive reality TV contestant. Like, she's got some skills.
She's got skills, but yet she's never won.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's
there's
see.
that.
It was time for the final roundtable. This was her chance to really make a case here.
Right. So, Gabby thanks Brittany for not lying about her being a faithful.
She totally could have tried it, but again, I think it would have been insane for Brittany to try and do that. It just wouldn't have made sense.
As suspected, Ivar calls out Dolores.
But, like, why?
Because he is not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Why Dolores? It's crazy. I think part of it was just because Dolores has had so many insane votes, like, that didn't go with the rest of the group, that he was like, yeah, she's a traitor, so she didn't want to vote for the other traitors with everybody.
Right.
Because she didn't want to betray them or whatever, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but, like, Dolores? Come on.
Well, Dylan says that he's writing Brittany's name down.
Well, Dolores was also like, I'm going to throw it back at Ivar. I was like, oh my god, we have another Dolores and Tom on our hands. But, oh my god, yeah. And then Dylan, he's voting Brittany, and then Brittany unleashes on him. And again, I think points were made. Mm-hmm. She definitely was throwing some good stuff out there that could have been convincing. But I think...
It was at this point I was getting nervous because of the editing.
Yeah, but I think at this point, the smoking gun, there was just too much to overcome with how things went down with Danny leaving.
Right.
And not saying something nice about Brittany. So I think that really did a lot of damage.
I think that was
Brittany's
a real
game.
Signal
Get
to the
her.
group
Yeah.
that she screwed me over. You need to take care of this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these traitors on their way out have been doing that.
Yeah, Dan. Last season.
Yeah.
All right, so the vote, it came down...
Well, Brittany voted for Dylan, and everybody else voted for Brittany.
Yeah, but that's not how they edited it, so, you know.
Brittany was banished. She was crying.
Good.
It was sad. I felt bad for her.
I didn't.
Well, on her way out, she was not able to reveal if she was a traitor or faithful because it's too late in the game.
Right.
We're not doing that anymore.
Right.
It's all about what you think.
Right. What would be the point of voting to end the game or continuing it if you knew for sure that another traitor was banished?
Right. They don't want to make it too easy.
Exactly. So, in the end... Everybody has got to go in the little bucket.
Can we have class outside today? They go out by the fire.
And they have to pick out a little balloon that has something that's going to burn green. I don't remember what chemicals, what elements burn green,
I don't remember.
burn red,
I don't know.
whatever.
Chemistry class.
You have to choose red or green.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's green, you end the game.
Right.
And if it's the other color... You continue and banish someone else.
Now, keep in mind, if you end the game and there's still a traitor left, the traitor gets all of the money. Mm-hmm. The faithfuls get nothing.
Right.
But if it's all faithfuls left at the end of the game, they split the money.
Right. All right. So,
there was a lot of suspense here because it really seemed like Dolores
was going to F it up?
Was going to vanish again and get rid of Dylan because she was still very suspicious of him. So everybody, they're revealing red or green. They do the first three.
Was it actually suspenseful or was it just bad Botox where she was just like...
I think it was actually suspenseful. But Dylan, Ivar, and Gabby all voted to end the game.
Right.
And then it's time for Dolores.
She's
and
the last one.
I thought for sure she was going to vote to banish again. Mm-hmm. But she picked green. They ended the game.
I was absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
But thrilled because I had had enough.
Well, because they decided to end the game and it was all faithfuls left, these four... They all win. They're going to split the money. So Gabby, Ivar, Dylan, and Dolores.
So you know what that means?
Winners.
Gabby gets to get married.
Yeah, she said.
She did.
She said if she wins, she could put that towards a wedding.
So she got married, I believe, the second week of January.
Aww, congrats to her.
Saw it on
That's
Instagram,
so exciting.
And it was very sweet. And I loved her video and pictures from her wedding.
Good for her.
All right. I'm glad she's happy.
Yeah.
All right, now.
How do you feel about this group of winners? I would not have picked this group at the beginning of the game.
No, I think usually in the past, haven't they kind of gotten rid of like the deadwood in the beginning because it was easier to just get rid of somebody who didn't know what the hell was going on?
I mean, there were definitely a few people here who got dragged.
Yeah.
I thought Gabby was deserving.
Yes.
She was playing pretty hard. Dylan was playing pretty hard.
But Dolores and Ivar...
Ivar woke up maybe halfway through.
Has he woken up yet?
With Cage Boys 2.0 with Sam and... I forgot already who the other Cage Boy was. For Cage Boys 2.0.
Wes.
No, 2.0.
Oh,
not
2.0.
the original.
Oh.
I don't remember now.
I don't care.
And then Dolores, like, I think she's a lovely person, but she really didn't do much on the
She's
screen.
a housewife. She does
Housewife?
not. She's not made for a reality competition show.
Her beef with people throughout the season with the votes definitely added some excitement and fun, but, like, did she add anything to the actual game? No. Not really.
No.
Yeah, so then it was time for the reunion with Andy Cohen.
All right, so they started.
Bravo, Zaddy.
Yeah, Zaddy. So he started off with the winners, Dolores, Gabby, Dylan, and Ivar. And I'm not convinced that they knew what they were doing at all.
Like we said, some of them were kind of just like bumbling through.
I'm not even convinced that Dylan knew for sure what he was doing. I think he was just like, we just need to end this.
I mean, he was besties with a bunch of those traitors.
All right, so let's bring out Bob the drag queen.
Yes!
And Danielle and Carolyn and Boston Rob.
They brought out the 4 original traitors.
Right.
This group was... This was the most combative group of traitors that we've seen so far. Like, they could not agree on anything, basically from the beginning.
I think Boston Rob was really trying to run the show.
Well, it was hilarious seeing his reactions when Danielle and Carolyn were going at it. Mm-hmm. And he was just like...
Yeah.
That was funny. And then seeing his reaction to that, like, when they were showing the picture-in-picture.
But, I mean, the first 2 banishments, or the first 2 murders... He pretty much called the shots.
I thought Bob the drag queen was kind of running the show in the beginning.
No,
before Boston Rob, like, got in there.
I don't know, but then,
That's kind of why I feel like Boston Rob went after Bob the drag queen, because he wanted to be the #1 guy in the group.
Yeah. Maybe. But at least the guys kind of agreed to what was going on.
I don't know. It was just too many big personalities in one turret.
Yeah. in one turret, yes.
Turrets.
All right. Danielle was trying to paint Carolyn as being difficult, but I don't think she was at all.
No. And they talked over her a lot.
Yeah.
That also broke my heart when they asked Carolyn, do you think Danielle respected you?
And she said,
she started crying. That made me so sad. I mean, you could tell she did not think much of her, which is awful.
Yeah. The more I see of Danielle, the less I want to see of her. I'm sorry, I said it. I said it. I don't like her gameplay. I don't like her personality.
See, it sucks because I loved her on Big Brother, but I was not feeling her.
But that was a million years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
I especially did not appreciate when she swore on her grandkids and it didn't mean a damn thing to her.
I don't give a crap about that kind of stuff. Like, it means nothing. It means nothing.
I know, but I'm a little bit superstitious that way, and I wouldn't do something like that. So, like, to hear somebody do that, I mean, you're tempting fate.
Would I do it personally? No, because I don't value that. Like,
you don't have grandkids either.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't swear on people because I would not accept that currency from other people, so I'm not going to do that myself. You know what I mean? Like, it means nothing to me. So, that's a non-factor for me.
Most people were surprised that Carolyn was a traitor.
I feel like out of all the traitors, they were the most surprised to hear about her.
They also said they were surprised that Danny was a traitor, which I don't buy at all.
Well, apparently her acting was really working.
It was awful. It was the worst I've ever seen.
No.
Ever.
I mean, the shaking on the floor and the crying was a lot.
Those outfits...
I love seeing all the outfits that people put together.
I saw a lot of memes of Danielle's outfits like side by side with like Muppets.
Oh.
And I have to say it was pretty hilarious.
What'd you think of Gabby's cat suit for the finale?
I liked it.
I thought the cat suit was great.
Yeah.
The outfit before that, like we said, not as much, but the cat suit was great.
Yeah. I think all in all, Gabby and Carolyn had the best fashion.
I mean, Bob Harper also, as mentioned in the reunion.
Yeah.
He was bringing it for the men.
He was.
Yeah.
All right.
And Bob the drag queen, obviously. But
who's got the last laugh here? I would say it's Carolyn, because guess what, kids? She is number 7 on Cameo World.
I was shook to hear that. That's amazing.
Wide.
Good for her.
Yeah. And I've seen some of her cameos because she posts them on her Instagram sometimes.
I'm sure they're a lot of fun.
And they're amazing. Even Boston Rob's cameos. I've seen him post some of his. Amazing. I hope they're charging a lot of money because it's definitely worth it.
I'm sure they are.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
All right, so Dylan, we find out, watched Boston Rob's season on the airplane to the castle.
Yeah. When he was on Deal or No Deal Island.
On Deal or No Deal Island.
We still haven't seen season 1. We're a little behind on season 2 just because of all the COVID of it all.
Mm-hmm.
We had some delays in our production schedule.
Right.
And our TV watching schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this should, like, if you were watching Boston Rob on Deal or No Deal Island, you should have known you can't trust him. And there's a good chance that he was a traitor because he's like a main character whenever he's on one of these shows.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I don't know. Overall, I will say, we're not going to get, like, too in-depth here with this reunion because a lot of it was just kind of like, remember when blah, blah, blah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, we're just hitting some of the highlights here.
All right, so the whole Brittany, Danny thing. Danielle was pissed that she was betrayed again by Brittany, but Brittany was like, what the F? What do I owe you?
Okay, so this I did want to hear, the whole Brittany, Danielle drama situation, because we did watch Reindeer Games, and we saw, like, I'm not gonna lie, Brittany really did Danielle dirty on that.
I mean, that's part of the game, you know?
It is, but she did her dirty. That's a fact.
Yeah.
However, like Brittany was saying, they didn't have a close relationship before that.
They were friends for like 3 hours before Reindeer Games.
That's what Brittany said. So I mean, it's not like it was this.
They hung out for like 3 hours.
It's not like they had some years-long friendship where there was a betrayal, but like she did do her dirty on the game.
It wasn't like they went to the Big Brother conventions and met up with each other all the time and like hung out and like, you know, did meet and greets and stuff together. They didn't even know each other before Reindeer Games.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why Danielle thought Brittany would like never go against her again after that to try and like make things right. But I feel like Brittany was kind of in an impossible situation in that round table where Danielle was banished. Right?
I mean, Danielle really was using Brittany when she recruited her.
I mean, let's be real. Like, Danielle was also using that situation to her advantage in the game. So, like, they were both
mutually using each other.
Yeah, so I don't know, whatever. But
yeah,
Danielle was saying, like, if we're on a show together again, I am not trusting you. Because this is like 2 times out. And I don't blame her. You shouldn't trust her.
Oh, Lord. You know?
Bubby, have a seat, baby.
All right.
Mail's here.
Is that what that was?
I think so.
I thought it was a cat.
Oh, no, I thought it was a mail.
All right.
So then, Andy was bringing up, there was a rumor going around online that Danielle actually let Brittany know that she was a traitor and she would be recruiting her given the chance.
So what is she going to say? Yes, I did. Of course she's going to deny it. I take my NDAs very seriously.
I don't know. I'm not saying that she did tell her, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised as well.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the deal with Tom Sandoval?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was very excited to see him on this reunion because he was very entertaining throughout the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it because I hate what he did to Ariana, but he did bring the entertainment this season.
With all the pigs on Vanderpump Rules, I mean, is Tom Sandoval really that bad as compared to, like, number one guy in the group?
No, a lot of them suck. A lot of them are terrible.
So why were they surprised?
It was just the way that it all went down. There was a deep betrayal there, for sure.
I mean, Ariana was the other woman.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not to the same extent, but, like...
Well...
I don't know. We don't need to get into all that, but I will say, as much as I hate it, I did enjoy seeing Tom on this season.
I was very surprised. I saw an interview on Instagram with Carolyn, and they asked her who was her favorite person on this season, and she actually said Tom Sandoval.
I mean, that's part of what sucks about him, is, like, he is very charismatic, and when he's on, but, like, then he does really shitty stuff.
He was kind of dumb, too.
That was part of why he was so entertaining.
But do you think that was an act or that was for real?
I think he's actually dumb. But somebody had said, like, oh, this was, like, total redemption for him. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think this redeems.
It's not total redemption.
I don't think this makes up for what he did.
This was a nice lark. You know? What was really ridiculous was Dorinda calling out Bob the freaking drag queen for not knowing who she was.
First of all, Dorinda was on this show for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I love Dorinda. But she was
too.
being too much.
Too extra.
In this reunion. He didn't know who you were.
What do you mean you don't know who I was?
Not everybody watches
How do you not know who I am?
It was too much. She was doing too much.
Dorinda, come on.
Not everybody knows who you are, and that's okay. Who do you think more people know? Bob or Dorinda?
Bob.
You think?
Yeah.
I would probably agree with that. But, I mean, yeah, you're not going to know everybody.
If you're from New York, you probably know Dorinda. Mm-hmm. But if you are from the world, you probably know Bob.
I do think that Bob has more worldwide appeal.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, it was a lot. I feel like she was trying to get her, like, TV moment. I did hear the little joke, Dorinda does not like being put on pause. That made me laugh a little bit.
You know what made me laugh? When Sierra said about Boston Rob that you used to be so hot.
And then she had to backtrack and be like, it's not that you're not hot now, but, like,
yeah.
I mean, let's be real. He's a little older now. But, like, back in the day, if you look back at those old clips.
He still looks good.
Yeah. Again, very, very charming guy.
We watched his special when they
him and Amber got married, yeah.
And it was just so romantic. And, like, that is, like, the dream to, like, fall in love on on a job situation, and then I think that's like amazing. That's
I think
like
they had a
tier.
romantic story for sure, but that's not my dream.
But it seems like he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a family man.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Is he a devious bastard on these shows?
Of
course.
That's his job. He's the puppet master. Remember that?
But I don't think that's who he is in real life. But yeah, that was funny.
I'm happy for them. They have 4 beautiful daughters.
Yeah. Rob and Sierra did not meet up at that restaurant that they were talking about when he was getting her through that challenge, but maybe in the future. Right.
All right. Well, Tony, Mr. I Won Survivor Twice.
I wanted more Tony on this season, and unfortunately he was out early.
He got slain before it was very long in the show.
Well, Andy was asking him, like, why were you so upset with Rob?
These survivors really take this seriously.
I take sketch comedy very seriously.
They really do.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, they are like, we're a family. If we're like on a show together and you come after me, that's really messed up. I mean, it's kind of the same vibe with Big Brother people. But I think
not as much. I feel like the survivor blood runs deeper than the Big Brother blood.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Big Brother is like, you've known these people your whole life because you've been in a freaking house with them if you make it to the end for like 4 months. Yeah. But like Survivor is what? Like just over a month.
Well, now it used to be 39 days. Now it's 26. But still, like.
But with sequester.
I think if you're taking a dump in the ocean together, like that really bonds
that's
you.
More. That's like blood is thicker. Dumping is thicker than.
I mean, you're getting parasites and stuff out there. At least in Big Brother, you're like
bug bite, snakes.
Yeah.
So that Survivor thing is for real, which is why in like the first episode, Carolyn was very afraid of turning on any of the Survivor people.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremy also felt very betrayed. Yeah.
It's for real.
I know.
All right. I think we can all agree that Tom Sandoval never actually knew what was going on.
He was actually spot on a few times, but it's one of those situations where like a broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly.
I mean, if you accuse everyone, eventually you're going to catch a traitor.
Right.
But he was right a few times.
Well, they also manufactured some BS about the best performance in a Scottish castle. Mm-hmm. It came down to Brittany, Boston Rob, Bob the Drag Queen, or Danielle. And no way. I want to see these people who voted because they voted for Danielle.
I don't know who actually voted. I don't think that was real.
I think this was fixed.
Well, I mean, Danielle's crying, shaking on the floor was kind of iconic, even though it was annoying.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cannot get behind that. All right, so Dylan.
They just did like a little thing at the end, like highlighting all of the winners.
Dylan the traitor hunter, surrounding himself with traitors.
Dylan the traitor's best friend.
Yeah. Gabby. They kind of alluded to her being dumb, but I don't think she was dumb.
I think she was really smart.
I think she was easily swayed.
Yeah, we've
whenever
talked
she
about this.
came up with a theory or something that was intelligent, people were quick to say like no, and she just like
She'd
gave
kind of
in.
back away from
Which
it.
I find really sad because like stand up for yourself, girl. You
I
got
have
some good opinions.
to give a shout out when they were talking about the Bambi's Alliance and people like wanting to be in it, but it was exclusive.
Yeah.
Sean and I were laughing so hard when she was like, the Bambis are for everyone. We're all Bambis.
Yes.
I was dying. But anyway, Ivar, Dolores, like, I don't even know what to say.
How is she a corrections officer?
That was so shocking to me. But that was really interesting when Danielle was talking about how she felt like Dolores was figuring her out. Like, she could read people because of that conversation that they had.
She really couldn't, though. She really couldn't. Dylan said, "It's my first reality show."
What do you want? I'm learning.
Will we see him again?
I hope so. I really enjoyed Dylan. I feel like he's a really nice guy, sweet person.
Do you think he will be on the challenge? You think he'll be back?
You never know.
You think they'll give him a Bravo show or something on Peacock?
Well, I mean, he has a show with his brother.
Yeah.
I think it's like some sort of adventure type show.
Well, I hope he continue. I might even check it out.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was a good guy.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
He should be the #1 guy in the group.
All right. Well, Alan did announce at the end of the reunion that the Traitors will be coming back. Yay!
We can't wait.
I know, it's so much fun.
Up the budget for Alan. We need more
Yeah.
fashion.
The fashion this season, I thought it was good before. This season was like another level.
Although...
And Lala was also included in the fashion
I
this
love
year.
that Lala got more fashion this year. But that funeral look from last season, that's tough to top.
But the wedding look from this season...
It was amazing, but I still don't think it was as good as the funeral one from last season.
There were a few looks this season where I was like, holy crap, like that's art. And
Yeah.
I loved how they had some of the outfits on display during the reunion too.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Let us know what you thought.
Did you enjoy the season overall?
Yes.
I did too. It was
Yeah.
very frustrating at times when the Traitors were all going after each other.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy it overall.
But it was something we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
So that's what made it interesting, because I don't want to see the same thing every season.
Yeah, I mean, this show to me is almost like what I would imagine the Battle of the Network Stars was like in, what was that, the 70s?
Yeah, yeah.
It's everything. It's all stars for all these reality shows put together.
Right.
It's so much fun. So
Right.
I am glad there will be more.
Yes, for sure.
And I'm definitely enjoying watching the UK version.
And we'll definitely be back for next season.
Yes. So thank you all so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts on this finale, on the whole season overall, in the comments.
Yes. Who did you want to win?
Yeah.
Who did you think was going to win?
I kind of was rooting for the Faithfuls this time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm rooting Traitors, sometimes I'm rooting Faithfuls.
I was rooting for Carolyn until Carolyn got banished.
Yeah.
And then I was rooting for the Faithfuls.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching with us. And until next time,
Much
much love.